Hey you guys, welcome back to the greenhouse. I've got to stop doing these videos midday. It's about like 1 o'clock here, and it is bright in here. Actually, I just came to open up the greenhouse for the first time today. I think I fried some of my plants, so it was pretty hot in here. It's starting to cool down now, hoping that some of these plants can come back to life. I watered them really well. I don't know, we'll see. That's farming for you, I guess. I came out here because I'm going to try to pot some of my peppers today, stay on top of that for the plant sale coming up. But I thought for this week's video, I wanted to talk about money. So it's pretty crazy to think that we are basically like a quarter way into the 2022 year, and I never really talked much about like what our goals were for 2022. But I wanted to go ahead and share one of those goals with you today because it's something that's been on my mind lately. My financial goal, or I should say our personal financial goal, is for the farm to pay for itself, okay? And that may not sound like a lot, but if you own a farm, you know everything that goes into it, you know the expenses that go into it. And you know, that's a pretty lofty goal. And so when I say I want the farm to pay for itself, that means I want it to pay for everything from, you know, seeds that we put into the ground all the way to our animal feed. If you have livestock, you know feed is expensive. We spend quite a bit monthly on animal feed. I want the farm to pay for that. I want the farm to pay for any infrastructure that we put in, which is huge. Most people would take out loans for that. And I'm not saying that that might not be something we do in the future. We're just not in a position where we feel comfortable doing that right now. So anything that we do for the 2022 year, in terms of the farm, I want the farm to pay for it. So that is our financial goal for 2022. So it wasn't a shock to us, and it really shouldn't be a shock to anyone else that we were in the red last year. I mean, we were a startup business, and most startup businesses are going to be in the red for a little while. We also do this debt-free, so everything that we have done for the farm here has come straight out of our pocket. We feel very blessed to be able to do that. On the flip side of that, since we are not taking out any loans and we're doing it debt-free, it basically means that we don't have a lot of the big infrastructure and a lot of the big practices in place that would help us to produce a lot more food to sell and in turn make more money. Okay, so you okay over there? Yeah. I really just wanted to chat about that today, talk about how we are going about trying to achieve that this year. So far, you know, we're just into like beginning mid-March, so we've got a ways to go, but so far this year, the month of January and February, it's going well. We are achieving that goal. Again, we have a long ways to go. But I just want to talk about that. And I know talking about money and income and revenue and all that is kind of, I don't know, a hairy subject and kind of hard to talk about. I'm not going to talk about exact figures or anything like that because that's so different for everyone. But when I go to look for certain resources on YouTube or wherever, a lot of times it's, you know, how to sustain your farm. And a lot of that boils down to money. How do you make money for your farm? And again, I'm coming at this from a perspective of we haven't taken out any loans for our farm. We're doing it debt free. We're trying to maintain that. I say this quite often because I want to remind people I'm a one-man show for the most part. We don't have employees. That would be awesome, but we're not in a position right now where we have employees. So I think this whole chat or this whole talk would be different if we had, you know, a team of employees that worked for us. Things would be a little different. You know, my husband does help me. However, he has a full-time job and a part-time job. I work part-time as a nurse outside of the hospital. I also have a part-time job teaching group fitness classes. So all of my energy is not focused on the farm. I would like for it to be one day, but right now it's not. So keeping those things in mind, this is kind of the place I'm coming from. And in the 2021 year, all of the money or the revenue made from the farm was from our tunnel. We grew tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Everything I sold direct to consumer. I sold a few flower bouquets, and then we sold a little bit of merch. Like, for instance, actually, this was not planned, but we sold these t-shirts. And that's all we sold. And we were certainly in the red last year. So looking into 2022, obviously things are going to have to change or have to change in order for the farm to fund itself. Okay. And that means, for us, that means thinking outside the box a little bit. Okay. So for me, I can't just sell produce and think that the farm is going to pay for itself. Not saying that some farms don't do that. There are plenty of farms that do that. However, it seems to me that those farms typically have a team. I could probably grow enough food to fund the farm, but can I really harvest it and process it and get it out the door and actually sell it to people and fund the farm that way? I'm only a one-man show, so no, probably not. Okay, I had to change views a little bit to try to get out of the sun. My 4-year-old just shut the door on me and it got hot in here real quick. So note to self, make sure I open the door and the windows in the daytime when it's getting warm, because it gets hot in here fast. Okay, so making money for the farm, thinking outside the box. This is what I am doing this year. These are things that I've already implemented that have proven successful thus far. And then these are a few things that are kind of in my wheelhouse that I've been thinking about that I may or may not implement, but I'm happy to share with you. Maybe you could take those ideas and run with them. So one of the things that has proven to be beneficial to us financially is the, I don't know any other way to say it other than the launching of merch, so to speak. So like these t-shirts, looking back at 2021, just looking at the numbers, selling t-shirts, things that are branded for our farm, different apparel branded for the farm, that proved to be beneficial to the farm. So that's something we'll continue to do. And again, this was not planned at all. I mean, the launch that I'm about to tell you about was planned, but it was not planned in preparation for this video. This was actually kind of this video was a last minute idea, and I thought, you know what, it's something that's been on my mind. Surely it's been on other people's mind. But we do have a t-shirt and tank launch happening now. It's a pre-order for a new design. I'll show it to you here in a second. And I'll put the link down for that below. So if you do want to get on that pre-order, obviously we would love for you to. We had a local graphic design student do this design for us, and we turned it into a t-shirt and a tank top. But again, I'll post the link down to that below if you want to check it out. It's a really short pre-order, so get in on it if you can. But yes, branded apparel has proven to be beneficial to our farm. So if you've not considered that for your farm, consider it. And we typically only do pre-orders, because to actually place that order up front, make a big bulk order and invest all of that money and ship those things out yourself, the shipping and whatnot is not a big deal. In my opinion, it's just not. If you invest in, now you do have to invest in like the label printer and the packaging and all that, but in my opinion, it's worth it. What is kind of a hairy situation is figuring out what sizes to order in t-shirts and when it comes to apparel, not knowing what people are going to want. So for us, pre-order tends to work out. That's kind of why we do that. So yes, apparel is something we will continue to do throughout the 2022 year and beyond if it continues to work out for us. On that same note, a few weeks ago, we launched the BerkeleyFarm Snap Scarf, which was another form of apparel. It was something we did not even, my mom made me that scarf so I could stay warm around here doing chores. People loved it on Instagram, were messaging me about it all the time because they would see me wear it. And we decided, heck, let's brand it. Let's BerkeleyFarm brand it and sell it. And it did so well. So I do think that there's a lot of value in branded apparel. Also, on that same note, with the scarf, in particular, some of these things are really planned out, like the t-shirts and things. You hire someone to make the design for you. You have the t-shirt or the tank top or whatever designed, and it's very planned out. The snap scarves were a last minute thing. It wasn't something we were planning to do. It was just something that you guys gave me the idea to do, and so we jumped on it, and it proved to be very successful. So I do think you also, if you're wanting to make revenue for your farm, or any business for that matter, you have to be willing to jump on these kind of last minute opportunities. Sometimes there's a lot of value in thinking things out and thinking things through and thinking through the risks versus the benefit and stuff. But sometimes there's value in just jumping on an opportunity. And that's what we did with the scarves, and it proved very successful for us. On that same line of branded apparel, I think it is valuable. I think there's value in other sorts of branded things, okay? And one of those things that is very popular right now, not just in the farming, gardening world, but just all over. All businesses seem to have them, and it's stickers. And I love stickers. I have stickers plastered all over my laptop, on my Yeti cup. Stickers are just fun, and they're cheap. Or cheap for the customer to buy, really. So it's easy for someone to consider to purchase that. Again, on that note, I promise you this video was not in preparation for this, but I was going to show you the design of the t-shirt that we are launching. Of course, we also had it made into a sticker. I don't know if you can see that well. It looks a little, I think it may look a little blurry on video. It's not in real life. It says Welcome Spring BerkeleyFarm at the bottom. And it's all the spring flowers that we have been trying to grow. This is kind of a little joke, because it's ranunculus, tulips, and anemones. And when I had this graphic designer make this, I was like, look, we got to make a flower design, because it's got to have ranunculus in it, because I've been trying to grow these dang ranunculus, and I'm not real sure it's going to work out. So I need something so I can have some ranunculus in my life. And so that's what she did for me. So yes, these are going to be on the website as well. I'll put the link down for that below. This is our first go around with stickers, but again, I'm seeing stickers work so well for other people, so why can't it work well for me? And if you're not into flowers, we got the tomatoes for you. And again, that may look, it's hard to, y'all, it's bright in here. And it may look a little blurry, but it's not in real life. These are all of our favorite varieties. We are growing these this year. The only one we're not growing, which I'm kind of kicking myself for, is the Dr. Witchy or Dr. Witchy, however you say it. But it's the blueberries cherry, Cherokee purple, sun peach, Dr. Witchy, and Abe Lincoln. Those are our favorites. But that will also be available on the website. So stickers, y'all, try it. You don't have to, I'm a believer in, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I mean, see what's working for other people. By all means, don't steal people's ideas. You know, if you know somebody has this really awesome idea, don't go out and just steal it. But stickers are not a new idea. They're not unique to anyone. They're just stickers. You know, everybody's doing them. So why not give it a go? And on that same note, we've never done stickers, so I didn't just go all out and order a whole bunch of stickers and spend all my money on stickers. We ordered 50 of each. I was trying to be very cautious of what money I had available to spend, right? And so that's another way we're trying to think outside the box this year and make a little revenue for the farm. Okay, so branded apparel, branded anything, stickers, pins. We're having hats made, y'all. I don't know that we'll ship them. They're not ready yet. I've got a local girl that I'm working with. They're certainly going to be available at the plant sale coming up mid-April. That's really what I had them made for. But yeah, branded hats, branded anything. Things that are popular right now, why not brand them for your farm? Idea number 2, this was another thing that was new to us this year. I talked a little bit about it on a previous video, I think. Sometimes I can't remember if I've talked about it on Instagram or YouTube. But anyways, on-farm workshops. I did my very first on-farm in-person workshop mid-February. The original idea was a seed starting workshop. It was going to be for 10 people inside my greenhouse. I was just going to do one class. So 10 people total, one class mid-February. have them come out. We talked about kind of the steps to starting seeds. They started their own seeds to take home. And then I made a take-home care guide for how to take care of their seedlings up until transplant time. I branded it all BerkeleyFarm, had our YouTube, had our Instagram on there, all the things. So it made it very specialized to our farm. It was so popular that we ended up doing 2 additional classes. So I did 3 total, and I still have people messaging me and emailing me wanting to know if I'll do more classes. And I really, really want to, but unfortunately, I can't commit to that right now. But that was just kind of the go-ahead I needed to know that, you know what, on-farm workshops are a thing. People are interested in them, and it is a very, very good way to bring money into the farm. If you're not in a position to do in-person things, on-farm things, online, man. I mean, I can't tell you how many online workshops I've bought for myself to learn certain skills around the farm. Online is huge. There are different platforms. I can't talk much about it. I won't talk much about it because I've never done it, but I know that it is doable. The value I think that in-person has over online, I mean, there are definitely things about online that are better than in-person, but the in-person versus the online, I think, was just the fact that they actually got to get their hands dirty. They got to do it. I supplied everything they needed, and then they got to go home with their product at the end of the day. So I think there's a lot of value in that. People like to pay for experiences, right? Things that they get to do. And it just proved very beneficial. So now my next step is to go back and brainstorm. Okay, seed starting was successful. People want to learn about that. People want to do that. People want instruction on that. So what is something else that I feel confident in my ability that I can continue to teach out here on the farm, and it can be kind of a hands-on activity for people. I think another kind of a drawing factor when I advertised the workshop was that it was going to be in my window greenhouse. I mean, this is a beautiful space. I love it. People love it. And that's what I advertised, is we're going to do this in my greenhouse. I posted pictures of the greenhouse, and I think that that drew people as well. So take a look at your resources and see what you have to offer and find unique ways to offer that. On that same note, my window greenhouse, something I've been thinking about for probably a year now, but I've not pulled the trigger on because, I don't know, I guess fear of failure, is renting my greenhouse out to photographers. Why not offer this space to someone who can make it look even more beautiful, and bring in revenue for the farm? So that's what I'm doing here in 2 weeks. I actually had a photographer reach out to me, and she wants to do, it's like a tea party type setup. She has partnered with a local florist. They're going to come out and they're going to like do this whole place up really big. And she has booked it out for little mini sessions all day long. It's like little girl tea parties. Another way that we bring money into the farm, this is what we've done for several years now. This is no secret to anyone, because I've done multiple videos on it, but the plant sale, the yearly plant sale. We do a spring plant sale with Bell Urban Farm every year, and that, I mean, bottom line, that proves successful every year, so it's something we'll continue to do. It is a lot of work, but it is worth it to us. On that same note, an idea that I've had that I've not executed yet, but that I've had floating around in my head that is not offered in our area right now, is a fall plant sale. I don't know that it would, well, I'm going to guess that it probably wouldn't be as successful as a spring plant sale, but I do think it would be successful. But potentially do fall plant starts and sell them. So I think there is a market in that, but that's just one of the ideas that I've thought about. Maybe we will try it this year, maybe we won't, I don't know. We'll just kind of have to see how the year goes. Another idea that I have had that I've not executed yet, it's just been kind of floating around in my head and on some notebooks and whatnot, but I think that would be beneficial. And that is to offer DIY kits branded for your farm. And so when I say that, the first thing that comes to my mind, I mean, gosh, this is not a unique idea. This is something I've seen in the store, the big box stores. And I thought, well, heck, why can't I put together something like that and make it even more special? But like an herb growing kit, like a countertop herb kit. And you provide the decorative bowl, you provide the seeds, and then you also provide the little plant stakes that could be branded for your farm, but you also provide the care guide and make it unique to your farm. Brand it for your farm. You can get things like that printed off very professionally for very cheap, and you can make them for free. I use Canva, the Canva app, on a lot of my stuff. I use the free version of the Canva app. And then I have it printed off very, very cheap. So it looks extremely professional. That's what I did for our seed starting workshop, the take-home care guide. But yeah, DIY kits. I mean, the possibilities are endless there. I've even seen people, like in the cold months, they make DIY paper, I think it's Paperwhite kits. And I won't talk much about them because I don't know much about them. But they give you like the decorative bowl and you get the little bulbs to plant your Paperwhites in whatever medium you plant them in, and then like a little care guide. They're beautiful. I've seen the end result of those. I've seen them on Instagram. They're beautiful, and they seem to be really successful. So any sort of DIY kit, I mean, man, even just sitting here thinking about it, you could do like maybe like a pizza kit where you have tomato, like a paste tomato and different herbs, basil, oregano, those sorts of things, and it could be like a pizza kit. There are all sorts of ways that you could offer DIY stuff. People get their hands-on activities and then also brand it for your farm and bring revenue into your farm. Okay, y'all, I gotta pot up some peppers now. Gotta go check on those flowers that I think I fried. I put them outside. I don't know. I'm hoping they'll perk back up. We'll see. These are just some things that were on my mind that I was hoping might be helpful to some of you when it comes to making money for your farm and kind of thinking outside the box a little bit. These are things we're doing so far, proven successful. Obviously, I hope you will check out our t-shirt pre-order and our stickers. Again, the t-shirts are going to be a pre-order. The stickers will be on our website, and I will ship them to you guys. And I'll make sure to ship them quick. Yeah, that's what I had for you today. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and we will catch you next week.